This is where, when the Lancaster team was here, we hung mosquito nets, and this is where we slept when we had the camp. But this is their workroom. Usually they would have their sewing machines, but I think they locked the sewing machines up.
Yes.
So they'd have sewing machines, and those tables, they are usually lined up, and that's where they cut their soap.
Yeah.
So they pour their soap in, they cut their soap. So this is their sewing room and their soap room.
That's exactly the project we do with our widows. We have those tables
And Sarah,
yes, she did.
one
it
of
with
your
us down
widows,
there,
it's
yeah.
one of the widows, so there's a cool connection.
Yeah.
Is Sarah came, one of the widows, and she came up, and Yagali's also a widow. And it's such a biblical concept.
It is.
That we're caring for the widows and children and orphans, and even what James said, true and undefiled religion is this, to care for the widows and the orphans in their affliction, and to stay unspotted by the world. And I always feel like this is on the heart of God. So this is their beans, this is their crop. They grew these right here. So what this is like, you know, like in the Spanish culture, rice and beans, it's not like a green bean, it's like a white bean. So they're drying their beans, and I mean, that's gonna be some good food right there. They also grind it into powder, and they make little pancakes made out of bean flour, which is delicious, actually. So. We're putting two sets of wash lines in, and we have rabbits. You can see our rabbits. Okay, down here is our classroom building.
So that's your workshop.
This is our classroom. I wonder why that won't open up. So here you can see, here were some of our Bible verses from our camp that we had. Now the girls are on a 1-month break. They came in February, and so they were here February, March, April, May, June, July for 6 months, and with very little break. So we felt like it was important for them, and that they were ready. We interviewed them one by one, every single girl, and talked about, where would you like to go? What would you do while you were there? Who would be someone that you could turn to for help if you needed? And actually, everybody but Rebecca. Her pastor said, you know, her mom is a Christian, her father's a very strong Muslim, and it's harvest time. It's time to be working in the fields, actually, not harvest, but it's time to be in the field. And the pastor felt if Rebecca went home, the father might say, you know, you don't need to go back there. I need you to work in the fields now. So Rebecca's just really enjoyed the program a lot. She came speaking only Jula, so she's learned a lot, even a little bit of French, and she's really learned a lot of scriptures. And it's been good for Rebecca. So I'm glad if she didn't have to leave. They also have church in here on Sunday morning, so this is their church room too. These are all the fruit of the Holy Spirit. And they memorized all of them. We memorized all those scriptures together. They've memorized literally 100 scriptures.
Wow.
They do a lot of scripture memory.
They do it all in French pretty much.
They do, no, it's French and Jula.
Is it Jula
Yeah,
too?
Because a lot of the girls are from other areas, not just Waga. We have, you know, Bamfora, a lot of Silenzo, Bobo. We have several girls from Bobo, Nuna.
So this is the classroom building, and that's the dorm building.
Yes, right now we have really 3 classroom buildings here, but Some of our afternoon classes we meet under the trees because it's cooler.
How were the girls selected?
They're chosen based on two things. One is based on their need. Like if, let's say, somebody from one of our Alliance churches in the country knows of a young girl who's in a bad situation. So they can present her as a possibility. So it's based on need, but then they have to want to come. We can't ever bring a girl here against her wishes because we have no way of keeping her here. And we can't be responsible. So the girls come based on their desire and their need. And then we kind of set a limit that we could take 18 girls this year. And, you know, now we have 17.
Introduce her.
Okay.
I think they would actually like to see her.
D'accord.
Madame.
This is Rebecca. Rebecca kera neta teribusoye. I'm benadofo itakola. I'll tell you a little bit about Rebecca. Rebecca's one of our girls. She's so precious. She loves God so much. And Rebecca became a Christian in a small village here in Burkina where there are not that many Christians. In fact, her church has undergone a tremendous amount of persecution. And her mom is a Christian, but her father is not. And so it's just a real miracle that her father gave permission for her to come to our center. But she's learning to read and write. She's learning to make soap and do all the things that I told you about. Rebecca, ibe se kadofo Dorcas House akadiyewa.
Kadi. Akadi koze.
Ibe mumfen kadiye.
Arabe. Ambe mi bedegra.
She said, I like everything I'm learning here. Ani itateri muso ube chogodi.
Obe ko kadi.
I like all of my friends that I've made here. Nang ni be boya, ibe miri, ibe na mumfen damine, ni ibora yang, ka kosegera, ibe miri iye fen mindege yang, abe na ideme yorowerela. So I just asked her, do you think the things that you're learning here, is that going to help you to work somewhere else? And she said, yes, it will. So, akera iko ambena fo anta moro mimbe demlichi amma. Ubena men ko centre kai. So that's Rebecca. Aniche. So why don't you come and see our dormitory? I'm bena dortoir gira. I'm bena dortoir gira. Est-ce que alalaga? Yoro do lalaga. Ibe se ka nyana tomo. Voilà. Ika gira ana. Yoro minka kai. This is Tanti Sarah's room over here. She's like the dorm mom and teacher. She has her own room.
Yeah.
And we're still, our last phase of our building project is a small duplex like what you saw at the lock.
Yeah.
Then Tanti Sarah will have her own separate place. And we're going to have an office. And like if we all want to come out and spend the night, we can. Okay, so we've tried to make it a nice, comfortable place for the girls, but not completely different from something else that they might have in their life. We feel like because we pay their prescriptions when they're sick, we don't want them all getting malaria. So they all sleep under mosquito nets. They sleep on mattresses.
It's good for them to teach them that right off the bat.
And
they can afford this when they go back
yes.
to their villages. They just have to get used to it.
And we didn't have any light out here for a solid year, only lantern light, but now we have
Solar?
we have solar.
Great.
So at nighttime, they can have a little bit of light. So that's like living in the lap of luxury out here.
Sure, yeah.
So we're really happy. We don't have enough energy to run fans, and in the hot season, some sleep outside until the heat passes. So we have three dormitories like this, three rooms.
like that.
And this is our kitchen, which I'm especially excited about.
They didn't crack and injure these dorm rooms like they do at the lock. I tell you, I think I saw 30 boys in each dorm room there. And I don't think the rooms were all that much bigger. I mean, they did 15 bunks, I think. What
Bottom
they,
up, do you remember bottom up?
Oh.
Same way there.
Oh, goodness.
They don't want to be tight.
Yeah. We could probably fit in more, but right now, since we're feeding them every day.
If you don't have to, I'm not encouraging
Yeah.
you. I just think
So this is where they cook with big giant pots. And then we have storage. You can see our cooking pots in there. But this facility was a big upgrade to the kind of cooking that we were doing before.
they use a
So,
lot less wood when they do it this way because the heat is
Kept inside,
Kept
so it just
inside.
dispersed. Yeah. And that also is a good lifestyle habit to show them. Because they can do this in their own yards if they understand how important it is and how it saves them from.
it's an interesting process trying to develop a center that is contextual,
yes,
and yet if you know of a problem,
improves.
you can try to make it better.
Right.
And like we talk about health and hygiene, we brush our teeth, we have toothbrushes, we use soap, which is great because we make our own soap. But we talk about the value of washing our food and drinking clean water. And so, I mean, we try to do health education. I mean, obviously there is a healthy way to live in Africa. You can live simply and also live healthily. So sometimes I think they have a little edge on us when it comes to healthy living.
Yeah.
So there's our rabbits, and we have done drip irrigation gardening, which is kind of funny because now we have water, but you have to remember most of the year it doesn't look like this. We're only going to have rain starting in June, July, August, and September. And in October, the rains will stop, like turning off a faucet. We won't have another drop of rain till June again, practically. And so that's October, November, December, January, February, March, April. By April, it's like a barren, I mean, this is what you see. This is what you get all the way across. So that's why we started the drip irrigation project. So the fenced-in area is always green, even in the dry time. So that was really cool. Even in April, we were getting cucumbers out of there and salad. So we did a whole formation, a whole teaching on drip irrigation. We brought in a man, he taught the girls. And at sundown, you can come and see the girls with their sprinkling cans out there. And it is just, gives you goosebumps. It's just amazing. And learning about, we did a teaching on vaccination of animals and pets. And the whole animal husbandry, how do you have to take care? When our pump burned out, they were carrying water from the nearby well every day for the animals. So that slowed down our animal project.
The goats look healthy.
Yeah. You can see, if you come around over here, you can see the animals more. Matthew and Mariam adopted Herman. He's from the orphanage.
Wow.
He looks just like Matthew. Ah. Herman. Even ata. She said we can come in if you want.
Got those iron rods in her hand. Zerbos with their chickens, they'll maybe have a dozen or 15 chicks, and probably 10 or 12 of them will die just because they run all over the place and get stepped on.
Yeah,
So it's so much better if they keep animals enclosed.
it really is. And to take it seriously.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you're going to do, just to take it seriously and to have some kind of order to it.
Yeah.